I've started setting trusses here for the barn build, and I've got a situation that I've got to contend with. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I checked to see what the slope was of the old trusses, there's 3 or 4 ways I could have done it, but I was pretty confident that the old trusses were on a 412 pitch. That means for every foot of run, there's 4 inches of rise. So when I ordered the trusses, the new trusses, I ordered them on a 412 pitch. Well, when the new trusses came in and I set them beside the old trusses, they're actually like this. They don't match. Now, the reason they don't match, I can't fully explain. This old building is probably 50 years old, and it is stick built. It may have been built by carpenters, it may have been built by cobblers, but it appears the old pitch is on somewhere between 4 1/4 to 4 and, I don't know, maybe 3/10. It's not on a standard 412 or 4 1/2 to 12 or 512. It's not a standard pitch roof. That's all I know. So I've got a situation here. My design, the hopes were that our new tin would be flat. The plane would be flat coming off from the old tin to the new tin. There would not be any difference in the pitch. So let me show you in real life. Don't know if I explained that very well, but they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and you can see right here what this situation is. Down at the bottom, I'm good. Up at the top, not so good. Let me take a closer look. So here at the top, on the slope of the new roof, we've got 6 5/8, let's call it 6 3/4 from here, from the top of our new truss to the top of those old shingles. 6 3/4. So here's the old roof, and here's, I'm exaggerating a little bit, here's the new roof. All right, from here to here, I've got 6 3/4. Now, the stripping that I'm putting on here is 2 inches. So that means I've got 4 3/4 difference that I need to make up. I've got a plan. Did any of that make sense? Maybe it will after I mill the lumber. At least it makes sense to me. So I'm over here at the sawmill, and I've got this plan. Let me show you what my plan is. So I've got the blade lined up where it's going to hit about right here, I hope. That's going to give me 4 inches on this end. Then I've got these 2x4s jacked up. I've got 7 of them married together. Got these jacked up, and the blade should hit somewhere around middle stream of this, which is 2 inches. So I'll put the wide end, the 4-inch side, up on top, piggybacking on top of the new trusses, and that should bring me up flush with the old trusses. And then the 2 inches should bring me up flush with the old trusses in the middle of the truss, or at least that's my plan. Did any of that make sense? So let's mill some 2x4s. They won't run without fuel in it. All right, let's go get some fuel. I had fuel in it. I just turned the fuel off. Well, if I've done everything halfway correctly, I put this on the high end, put this on the low end, and I should be good to go. Did any of that make sense? Why am I always working in the land of theory and then see if it works in practice? I don't know, but that's a good part of it. Listen, I realize that what I'm working on here is not rocket science, but it is a good opportunity for maybe a little teachable moment, at least for me, and might be something that you can use. Architects and engineers, they come up with blueprints and plans for the way we are to do things. Oftentimes when we get in the field, what the architect or the engineer has drawn, sometimes the modifications have to be done. Now, when it gets into modifying something that an engineer has done, then we have to go back to the engineer and get his approval on it. But as far as architectural drawings, unless it's a substantive load-bearing wall or structure, we have to, in the field, make modifications. And I hope you realize that I realize that what I'm working on here is it's not a complicated thing. It's a very, very simple matter, but it is a good illustration that sometimes in the field, modifications must be made. And, you know, sometimes the modification is I don't want to offend any of my architect or engineer friends, but sometimes the modifications we make in the field is better than what he drew. That's just my opinion. Did any of that make sense? We've got those cut and ready to piggyback on.